All right, we are getting started. Well, that was quick. It's a good crowd. It's a good crowd. So, Calvin?
Good morning, everybody. Man, I didn't know it rained so heavily outside, but thanks for you guys fighting the traffic, getting rain in to be here. So we have coffee, water, and soda in the fridge. Help yourself. A little housekeeping item. Restroom, right? Most important thing after you drink all those coffee. Where's restroom? Keith, where's restroom? There, outside. Okay, great answer. Okay, second, right, left, walk 60 feet. Okay. Well, welcome everybody. My name is Calvin Wong. We just got back from our 2-day trip. We were in Houston on Monday night, having events similar to this. And then we were in Austin yesterday. And we have the honor to have a pilot drive the big van, driving us back safely. So we're here today and excited to see everyone. So let's get this started. I know with the rain, we have probably over 70 people sign up, but I know everyone's, some of them may still stuck in traffic. But let's go ahead and get started. This is the agenda. Sorry for those that's towards the back. There's another screen right there. So I hope you guys can stay here until 2 o'clock. Lunch is going to be served here as well on site. So we're going to go through quickly the purpose of this event. And then we're going to have a few panels introduce themselves. Studio USA, guest speaker, lunch break. And then we're going to get back together, huddle up, and then we have a wonderful speaker that flew in from Boston. He's our leader, alpha leader, and he's gonna give a pretty good presentation. So we saved the best for last. So we hope you can stay here, hang out with us. It's raining. There's not gonna be any showing. Your client's gonna call you and cancel it, right? Plus, it's fall. They're gonna go get their jacket and whatnot to shop for a jacket. We were having brutal summer for last couple of weeks. But let's go ahead and have our pilot.
Welcome everybody. I'm supposed to be your host, but Calvin took over right at the beginning. So between Brenda and I, we wanted to, and she'll speak here in a little bit. We wanted to welcome everybody here. Welcome aboard. So I'm Carlos Coloma. I'm an Orlando pilot. What am I doing here? I've been doing real estate for the past 20 years. First as an investor, and then as a real estate agent, real estate broker. And then I got my CCIM designation. My wife got her CCIM designation and her broker license also. But anyway, we'll tell you more about it later. What we wanted to focus on is getting to know you first. See what everybody is doing, what's your field, and then just share quickly, basically your name, who you are, where you come from, and what you do, and we get to know you, and then you get to know us, and we'll start with the presentation.
Yes, we wanted to get to know our audience and just understand so we can, make it more interactive today. So we'll start with you, our guest from all the way from Florida.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. So my name is Maria Herrera. I'm originally from Spain, and I'm based in Miami, Florida. I work with Carlos and Brenda. I'm of counsel. I'm immigration and business attorney in 5 different states. So I just landed yesterday night and very happy to be here with you. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Heather Fildias, and I am with McCaw Property Management. I'm a guest of Felicia Rushton. I have been in the real estate, field since about 2001, mostly specializing in property management. Started out at Trammell Crow, kind of went to different places throughout the years. And anyway, I'm the business development manager and realtor for the company, and so I help investors onboard their properties so we can manage it for them. And then likewise help them buy and sell their current investment properties and try to help them grow their portfolio and wealth. And likewise, it's helpful for our company as well. So thanks for having me.
Good morning. My name is Lucia Rushton. I am with EXP and Rushton Realty Group, and I specialize in resi-commercial, so that's from 1 door to 100 doors multifamily.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Roman Reyes. I'm an SBA lender at T-Bank. So far, year to date, we've done over $189 million in SBA and commercial lending, but most importantly, the process of finishing up my license and joining these guys with the We Partners Network.
It's something interesting yourself. I forgot to ask that. Tell us something interesting, right?
Something interesting. I love the show The Bachelor.
Very interesting.
You're gonna be a bachelor soon. Good morning, everyone. Todd Trey, Universal Realty. Been in the business since 2008. Looking forward to network with everyone. Specialize in residentials. Do a lot of investment properties. A big portfolio with clients, and looking to grow. And love to network with everyone. Thanks for having me here.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. My name is Aaron Fennell. I am a commercial broker with EXP, specializing in event centers, retail, very fresh to real estate as of June. So much to learn. It's been a great experience here with EXP so far. Something interesting about myself, I would say I am an amateur bodybuilder with plans of going pro someday.
Hey everyone, my name is David Bachman. I live in Austin, Texas. I'm currently getting my license. I've been in real estate tech sales for the last year, which is what got me inspired to start this journey and get my license. So I'm here today to just meet a bunch of people and explore different options going into this career.
We met David in Austin yesterday, and staying plugged in, just drove up just to be here today, right?
My name is Paul Roberts. I was invited by Colin. I'm in the life insurance and annuity business. I'm here in Dallas, Texas, and I'm a long distance runner, so I can outrun you if you want to fight.
My name is Phil Abear, and I was actually invited by Paul, who was invited by Colin. We live in the Fort Worth area. We've been doing the three of us are partners in the life insurance, annuities, financial advising business. So we've been building a business there and now getting into the real estate side. Something interesting is I practice Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And I'm not going to be part of y'all's little battle here. You're on your own.
Hi, my name is Lindar, and he basically just said all of that, so there you go. I was born in Caddo Mills, Texas, and now we live in the Fort Worth area. Just recently passed my test for real estate, so I'm excited. Thank you. So I am excited to be here and just kind of learn and see what this is all about. Looks fun so far. Something interesting, I actually customize and hand paint shoes.
Nice. I need some
Hi everyone, Tom Trong, flew in from Boston. I'm so excited to be here in Dallas. This is our third city here this week as we travel the great state of Texas to change real estate agents' lives. Can't wait to share with you. I'll be the last speaker here. What's interesting, I'm a drummer, a musician. I won in on that race because I've been chasing agents for 18 years, man. Right? Trying to help them build their business. I can run with you guys too. That's it. I'll talk with you guys later.
Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Shala Omamogo. If you need a quick way to remember it, remember that song Brown Eyed Girl from the 70s, you know. I'm a dedicated commercial broker at EXP. And I'm actually with the We Partners Network as well. So I specialize in retail and industrial, but if you do ever have referrals or anything like that for other needs, that's something I can assist with as well. I will partake in the race with y'all. A fun fact about me is I am a runner, always have been for my whole life, and I am training currently for a marathon on December 10th. So, yeah.
Hey everybody, Matthew Boggs. I'm an industrial real estate broker with eXp Commercial. Been in about 9 years, mostly in LA and Miami. So I've only been in Dallas for about four months now. Interesting, I played college football, but after 3 knee injuries, I kind of hung it up. So I'm not doing any running with you guys.
I'm Keith Andrews from Birmingham, Alabama. I invited myself, and they're actually going to let me talk. So one interesting thing. Okay, first of all, I am eXp Commercial, and I'm like a full-time. I'm the first eXp Commercial licensee. How's that sound? We started in Alabama almost 3 years ago. That's because we didn't have to have our own separate broker to start it, where Texas had to, so those two had to wait. I got to be here first. We all left where we left at the same time. They had to wait. So one interesting thing, I had the privilege and honor, and I had fun. Other people took it very serious. But for a year and a half, I sang with the Charleston Symphony Orchestra Choir. And I was the only one having fun. The rest of them took that all. They were crazy. I had to get out of there because they took it too serious.
Thank you. I'm Brent Pennington, also with eXp Commercial. And so I practice in commercial field, industrial, office, retail, capital transactions, tenant rep, kind of a generalist. Anything that will contribute to the bank account is my favorite thing. I live on a small rural property up in Grayson County, where I have a wife and bees and chickens and little chicks and garden things. So I'm kind of a country guy by choice.
Hi everyone, I'm Tushan and I'm from eXp. And I'm from the group in Houston, and I'm the affiliate partner with Daniel. Thank you so much for Daniel and Kelvin have been helping our group to grow in Dallas. I immigrated here 11 years ago from Vietnam to study with eXp Realty for 2 years, doing real estate for 6 years, and love the company and love everything.
How many time icon are you?
It's just 2 times because I went 2 years.
Just
and yeah, we're going to get a test. And last year I was in the top 50 realtor within the eXp company. Here to learn from Tom, from Kevin and Daniel to grow the passive income. We do have the residential investment too, but we really want to learn from you guys to go more passive income and having more individual in real estate, so we can all retire from it.
Sorry. Hi, good morning. My name is Eric Garcia. I was born and raised in Mexico. Now I live in a town called Teague, Texas, which is about an hour and a half from here. I do farm and ranch and residential. Have done a couple of commercials, and I'm here to learn more about the commercial because I have 2 listings that need to get sold.
Hi, I'm Nancy, and right now I'm a full-time realtor and also I'm a YouTuber. And since March this year, because I try to use YouTube to help my business. Before become a realtor, I was a senior investment analyst in Bill Bank and Nation Star Mortgage in Dallas area. And after that, I also opened a warehouse, so I have some connection nationwide about logistics. So I'm also familiar with industry. I have some requests. So if you have some listing about a warehouse, please let me know. Okay, thank you.
Hi, my name is Gaby Rocha. I'm with eXp Realty and Brazil Marshall. I also are in the We Partner Network and Let's Fry Crew with Carla and Brenda. And a funny fact is I really love eating so much. So I really love discovering new restaurants. I originally from Venezuela, so I really like to attend my Hispanic people and my community. So I am still learning. Thank you.
Hi everybody, my name is Ivy. I'm just here to assist my husband. Just here to learn and connect with people. So thank you for having me.
Hi everyone.
So you're the boss. You're the boss.
Hi everyone, my name is Francis Ding. I'm a realtor and I started with residential, but right now I want to go to commercial. Fun fact about myself, I am also a pilot, but I didn't go to commercial route. Thanks everyone.
Hi everyone, I'm Anna Cantu and I'm also a residential and commercial agent with the We Partners Network and Let's Fly Realty as well. Fun fact, I just became a grandma, so I have a 3-month-old grandbaby.
My name is Yumi Yamada. I'm Japanese and I'm commercial and residential, so we are doing the residential. I have a Japanese client and I'm Toyota Motor Corporation's official leasing agent. I did a 25 lease this year, January to March, only Toyotas, and totally 60 lease per year. Then I have my project. So if somebody who want to buy the Japanese house living in Kyoto for 2 months, so you join me, we buy the house divided by 6 people. You pay 100,000, but Japanese yen is so weak, you will pay only 70,000. You can own 2 months, you can do Airbnb, or you can use it. One night in Kyoto is 350 average. So you can use free. So if you somebody interesting, come over to talk to me after this meeting. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Crystal Hayes. I go by Chris. I am an eXp realtor. And a fun fact about me is, I don't know, I'm goofy, corny sometimes.
Hi, my name is Daryl Hayes. I am currently getting my realty license. I guess a fun fact about me is I used to run semi-professional track, so I'm down for that race.
All right.
My name is Evan Williamson. I'm local here in Collin County. I'm a mortgage broker and also a residential mortgage broker and also a real estate investor with my wife. I guess a fun fact about me, man, is I don't know, I can be left brain and right brain sometimes, very analytical and very fun extrovert. So I guess it's a fun fact about me. Other than that, I just love real estate.
Hi everybody, I'm Ebony Pertite and I am a residential agent interested in learning about commercial and investor. And an interesting fact is I'm a shopaholic, working on it.
Me too. Me too.
We got all the shopaholics back there, I think.
Shopaholic too. My name is Teresa Tong. I'm actually sponsoring a broker and owner of my own brokerage. Our brokerage is called Tong Parsons and Terrell. And I have 2 more partners, Shelly Wong Parsons and John Terrell. They couldn't be here. And I'm a really long-term, like many years friend of Daniel's, and I'm here to learn about the eXp network. And we actually have over 80 agents and broker associates. So we're actually pretty proud of our brokerage. But we want to, like Tom talked to me earlier, that being the broker and the owner, we had to do a lot of little things, you know, throwing out the trash, cleaning the desk. But hopefully maybe the eXp network will get us out of those little tasks. Fun facts, actually, I can relate to Keith. We talked to each other earlier. I love to go to karaoke, so maybe someday we'll go to karaoke together. And also, I'll throw out a little bit commercial. Daniel and I were on this board, and also Colin for a culture foundation. Every year, we host the biggest, the largest Lunar New Year celebration in the DFW area for Asian and American communities. Next year is February 3rd. I want to see every one of you there.
There you go. Hey.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Jenny Kirad, and I started real estate a year ago, dipping into commercial right now with Katie Savani, that's my mentor, and Judy Rasmi. So that's my mentor right now. They're awesome girls. So fun fact about me, I love singing as well. I'll be there. Invite me, I'll be there.
Hola, hola, bienvenidos a We Partners Network en español. Just kidding, I'm not gonna speak Spanish to you. I'm Brenda Coloma, CCIM.
My better half.
Emphasizing the CCIM because Carlos gets mad at me for not bragging about it enough. Not wearing the pin. He's always, wear the pin, wear the pin, wear the pin. You work really hard for it. And Carlos and I are the first Hispanic CCIM couple in Texas.
So it's a pretty big deal. So there's only less than 7% of all commercial brokers get the designation of CCIM. There's not that many of us. We're the first Hispanic couple that became CCIM. It stands for Certified Commercial Investment Member. You guys need to look it up. And so you know the kind of caliber and experience of commercial brokers that you find in this room. There's 6 CCIMs in this room right now. Raise your hands. So you don't even find this in the big brokerage, commercial brokerage companies. You don't have that many CCIMs in one room ever. So that's the kind of experience that you're getting here, all right? If you're looking into commercial. Sorry.
So I am a commercial generalist. I don't really specialize in an asset. I always say my specialty is serving the Hispanic community. I'll tell you more about it when it's my turn to talk, but that's what I do. Fun fact about myself and Carlos is that combined we have only 5 children.
Nothing fun about that.
Well, it's going to be hard to follow that one up. So, hi everyone. My name
No
is
children, right? Not yet.
Yeah, we'll get there. So, hey everyone. My name is Joel. I'm one of the residential and commercial agents. I'm also a residential and commercial lender with Quality First Mortgage, and I'm also one of the residential mentors in the group. Fun fact about me, tomorrow is my 1-year anniversary with EXP and the We Partners Network. So yeah, it's been 1 full year. I'll be dropping a little video about that on my social media, so go and look at that one. And that's pretty much it. So I'm looking forward to another 12 months, and we'll see everything that we've accomplished. And I'll probably be number 7, 8, or 9 CCIM in the future. I'm working on that, and also hopefully next week I'll be able to call myself a broker associate of the Partners Network.
All right. Anna.
Oh.
Colin has his phone. And then Rick, I'll have you come up in a minute.
All right, good morning, guys. My name is Colin Hu, commercial real estate agent working with Calvin and Daniel in Dallas office. Specialized in retail, industrial. Also touch a little bit about office space. So very excited to be here. You know, I know most of you guys, but yeah, have fun and learn a little bit more.
Oh, my turn.
Well, my name is Marisela Pulliam. I'm here because Brenda invited me. We just met this year, a few months ago, and we are creating a network for Hispanics. So if you are Hispanic and if you don't have anything to do this afternoon, we will invite you to an event to celebrate the Hispanic culture and Mexican Independence Day in a restaurant. You're going, right? Okay, so I've been with EXP for almost a year. I was with another small broker for almost 8-9 years, and I'm so happy to be here with EXP and to get to know everybody. Thank you.
Hello, so my name is Brian Wharton, and I am a residential property inspector. So I go out and will look at the buildings or the residential, whatever you have, and give you an inventory and report on the status of the building. I did study at the University of Madrid, so I'm gonna have to meet up with my partner here from Spain so she can remind me of my Spanish. It's been 20 years since I've really spoken it, but I did study at the University of Madrid. And a unique fact about me is I think I'm the only one here with a church key to open the Topo Chicos. So if you need to open that, let me know. Some of you might know as a bottle opener. I call it a church key.
Thank you. All right, a second, we're thinking about converting to this karaoke room right here. So many people like to sing. I didn't know that. So much talent. Actually, there's one more thing. I ran my first marathon in April, so I'm on.
Oh, okay. We run.
Okay. So I like to do this because I was away from my family for 2 nights, and my daughter was asking me where were I and where are the pictures. So I had to do this for her. Thank you. So as most of you guys, probably what's the why, right? Every day we wake up, it's like, why do I want to wake up? Why do I want to go do this? Why? My why is my family, and I think most of you guys the same thing. Your why is the family. So after family, my closest family after my immediate family is my business partners, right? So, and me, I've been partnering with Daniel since 2012. So I was at a corporate job. I was working for Goldman Sachs for 7 years. Met Daniel in the CCIM class, which what Carlos was mentioning, CCIM, which is like a designation for commercial real estate. So in financial industry, we have CFA, in accounting, we have CPA, and in commercial real estate, we have CCIM. So I met Daniel in 2008, left Goldman in 2012. It took 4 years for Daniel to court me. No, just kidding. So, so 2012 we partnered up, started a boutique brokerage firm, and then eventually went to purchase a franchise, thinking that that's the route to go. And then we were, doing the same thing, brokerage, and then, like Teresa said, taking our own trash, cleaning out the table, like office, stock up the coffee machine and all that stuff to incentivize the agents to come to office. Until now, we are in this platform, continue to grow. So why do you want to share that? Because those experience kind of lead us to where we are today with our We Partners network, right? It's very important for you guys to understand why we created this network. And we have a mission and vision statement. So it really, we feel like, every time we looked at this statement, it really touches us because we are doing it. Not because we want to, is we have to, right? We have to do this. Why are we doing all this event? Why are we going through different cities? Is because we have to show this platform to change people's lives. So it's not that we want to, it's we have to. So our mission is connecting real estate entrepreneurs globally in a supporting and collaborative environment by leveraging the opportunity to create wealth, community, and legacy. So my why earlier is, my family, right? I want to change my family lifestyle. I want to create wealth. And after that is the community. I want to give back to the community. We want to give back to the community because this community provided us so much, so we want to give back. And then we want to create a legacy. So all this are intertwined, interconnected, that continue to push us. Like a lot of people ask, like Daniel, like, do you ever sleep? If you are in Daniel's Facebook, literally, you don't have to call him or anything. You can know exactly where he's at. He constantly reports his status, right? Like what? WNN. Sometimes if he has a little bit more time, he reports the weather too. We Weather Channel. But that's his drive. That's our drive, right? We constantly want to go and share and constantly want to change people's lives. And we think we found that solutions how to change people's lives. And when I mentioned this, as you stick on through the rest of the program today, you will listen to a few testimonials from our partners. It really does change a lot of things. This model really breaks through the old traditional model because every 10 plus years, technology or new ideas disrupt the market, and I think we are here. I mean, this is the real disruptions. Let's continue on the vision. So we want to have 10,000 partners that are creating generational wealth and sharing expertise by 2030. So we want all our partners, not just me and Daniel, Carlos, or the We Partners, not just us generating generation wealth, but we want 10,000 partners, not just Texas, not just Dallas. We want it to be globally. It seems big, but this platform can make it happen. So that's our mission and our vision. And as you can see, Daniel wants to take the stage now. I want him to kind of. He's like, shut up, y'all. Next, my turn.
No. That's what We Partners is about. It's not about Calvin and I, even though we started it, but it's what you guys continue to grow and create. So just kind of showing you, on Tuesday we were in Houston with our partners, met a lot of great people. Austin as well, with our partner Debbie, another two-time icon as well. And then in Houston, we have our other icons as well on the commercial side. We actually have 2 brick and mortars offices with our partners down in Houston. So that's great, Debbie as well. And, we have fun, right? Just kind of showing our culture. Really, our goal is to showcase our culture, understanding our commercial side of our business as well. And just the collaborative. Everyone has a lot of, big smiles. And this is something that I didn't get when I was just a broker owner and my agents were my agents, and they would never become that same level as partners. Everyone is on the same level here. And that's what I love about this platform. And I want to introduce my friend, Rick Davis. He's also a partner in our group. He's also a licensed realtor. We reconnected actually last year, and I want to kind of go over his story really quick and why a content creator, right, and a business owner is plugged into our group and kind of sharing the idea of what we're doing as well, because we're creating a podcast studio, and you need a good partner, right? So instead of just hiring out, why don't you find a good partner to do that and help him also create opportunities as well. So
I'll keep it short.
All right.
Okay, so am I on? Yeah, there we go. Let's see. So I've known Daniel for almost 10 years. I was an RPR instructor for NAR when I first met him. So I taught in his old office. And we have been, I guess I'm vying for the poster child for the We Partners Network, because I met him again, or we reconnected last year right after Christmas. One of his agents came to my old brick and mortar studio. And from there, I ended up in Austin, Houston, Naples, Orlando. So it's been, I hadn't left Dallas probably since pre-COVID. Maybe Fort Worth was as far as I've gone. And so I think now it's been about 15,000 miles. But, oh, and Daniel does sleep. and he does snore. So I got proof. And the thing is now, I started in a previous life, I was a lender. So shout out to my mortgage guys and my lenders. Then I became a tech trainer, and pre-COVID, I was Ebby Halliday's Google instructor for 5 years. So I have a background of training, real estate, and marketing, and I actually went to the Art Institute a very long time ago, 33 years. So all of that came full circle, and now, like Daniel said, we're actually moving the brick and mortar to Plano, so we are right around the corner from Engvest HQ and the We Partners Network. So we're bringing everything, training, marketing, branding, content creation, everything all under one umbrella. And my team and I, we probably shot close to 3,000 houses over the last 8 years. So I probably have, I don't know, 500 or 600 videos on YouTube as far as listings, agents, branding, about me's, content, that type of thing. So what we are going to do is give everybody that wants to participate a shortcut. Basically, get to cut in line and become your own marketing machine as long as you're willing to participate. Because my thing is with these guys, it's like I say yes to everything at least once, and I haven't regretted it yet. And so I would say suit up and show up and just see what happens.
All right. Thank you, Rick. Appreciate
Yes,
it.
Thank you, Rick.
All right. Carlos, you're up next, man.
All right, everyone. So why are we here today? The whole object of this week tour is presenting you all with another opportunity that we see it as going beyond brokerage services, right? Many of you that are here have a real estate license. Many of you thought that you could only sell homes with a real estate license because when you went through real estate school, all they taught you about was how to sell a house. But with your license, you can sell commercial real estate also, even though you haven't been taught anything about commercial real estate, right? Believe it or not, the statistics say, and I'm a numbers guy, that only 13% of new license holders make it through. The remainder fail and they end up doing something else. So there's about 40 people in this classroom right now. So that means only 5 of you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Congratulations, the 5 of you made it through. Everybody else, go do something else, fly airplanes. So that's the statistics, right? And the statistics come from your traditional brokerage service. You may be going with a big brokerage company that may give you some training and some support, but the statistics say that most everybody, 87%, are going to fail. So what are we trying to do? Well, let's find another avenue. Let's find another way of making sure that our agents are going to make it through. Let's lower that statistic to something more manageable so that we can give everybody an opportunity. So one thing that I love about the We Partners Network, it's a network. We are collaborating. We're not jealous about each other's deals. On the contrary, we're supporting each other. We're helping each other. We're bringing in the right expertise to help you succeed. I traveled with the We Tour bus to Houston and Austin, not because I had any agents to recruit down there, but because I wanted to plug in and help, and just be part of it, learn, and be able to collaborate. When we succeed, we all succeed, right? Again, going beyond brokerage services. What else can we do, right? We created Let's Fly Crew, keeping my aviation theme and real estate together. Crew meaning commercial real estate worldwide, but also flight crew. And we provide consulting services as well as brokerage services. So when you get your CCI training, you realize you can do more than just brokerage services. Brokerage is easy. You go find a building and sell it. Well, we can do consulting as well. If you were to open up a French restaurant, and I was to ask you, and I was just providing you with brokerage services, I would ask you, where would you like to open up your French restaurant? And you say, well, South Dallas. I'm like, okay, well, let me go find a space in South Dallas for you and get you in there and good luck, right? 6 months later, you're gonna go out of business because nobody in South Dallas eats escargot. They've never left Texas, right? So that's bad business because our business is based on repeat customers. Well, how about this? When providing consulting services, I'll ask that client, why do you want to go to South Dallas? And they're going to say, well, because I live nearby. Like, okay, well, who's your ideal customer? Who's your ideal client? Well, my ideal client is probably going to be somebody who's older than 30, probably married with children, who has traveled, maybe from Europe, somebody that makes good income, high net worth, management type, white collar worker. I'm like, okay. So knowing all of this, I can tell you they don't live in South Dallas. So where do they live? So I'm gonna do a market analysis. I'm gonna figure out, well, they probably live in areas like South Lake, for example, right? So let's look at South Lake opportunities. Well, what is your estimated annual gross sales? Because by knowing your annual gross sales, I'm going to know how much you can really afford for your rent. It's not just, well, I just want to pay $10,000 worth of rent. Where are you getting that number from? Let me see your business plan. You should be, in order to be successful in a retail restaurant, you should look at no more than 5 to 8% of your annual gross sales as your total rent expenses, right? So we get to do that. Again, that's consulting. I'm charging them a consulting fee for this. You can do that too, but you need to learn how to do it. You've got the team of CCIMs here to help you and show you how we do consulting services too, right? You can sell commercial real estate. Part of what you do with EXP is you can mentor agents. That's another revenue stream. You can recruit agents and get your they call it the share, right? You can revenue share. That's another income stream. So it's getting multiple sources of income. Something else that Calvin and I talked about on the WeBus yesterday on our way from Austin to Dallas, and I told him, I said, hey, we need a We Invest also. For all our members, we chip in and we do a syndication deal and we own our own building, that we can rent and we can cash flow. We cash flow. I saw, this is an idea that I got from Delta Airlines, actually. I'm probably with American, but Delta has an airplane that's owned by all their employees, and it's got a big placard on the front side of the airplane saying this airplane is owned 100% by all of 160,000 Delta employees. Well, we should do the same thing. It'd be another way of us presenting to everybody. It's like, what brokerage company out there can say that they have a team that owns a building that's an investment and that's actually cash flowing, So there's multiple ways, multiple avenues of us partnering together and being successful, not just from selling homes. There's other ways of doing things, and no other brokerage company, no other network can provide something like that to you. So that's what I wanted to tell you. As I said before, my wife and I were the first CCIM Hispanic couple in Texas, second CCIM Hispanic couple in the world. She is doing mostly of the brokerage services. I do most of the consulting services. And between her and the rest of our team, we collaborate and we work together. I'll let her explain some of that to you all.
You guys gonna sing a duet up there?
I don't sing. I dance. I'll do the dancing. He can do the singing. Well, let me see. Let me tell you a little more about me. When I met Carlos, I was a school teacher. And he told me, while we were dating, you work too much. You work too much, and you don't get paid enough. Okay. So we both decided that getting my real estate license was a good idea, to have a working mom with a flexible schedule for 5 children. That's why I mentioned the 5 children, because it is a reality, but it has not stopped either one of us to continue growing. And this is 10 years ago when I first got my real estate license. Going back 10 years, I didn't imagine myself being a CCIM, like Carlos says. You don't brag about it enough. Doing commercial, never imagined myself doing commercial. I knew I wanted to do more. I knew I wanted not to just get my license. I knew I wanted to go into investing. That much we knew. Actually, our second date was all about cash flow. Yes, it was a really romantic date with lots of numbers. Carlos is a numbers guy, and I'm serious. He did a whole presentation of how passive income, and I was like, woo, baby, you're talking my language. So at that point, I was thinking about fixing and flipping houses. That was my plan, but we took it as time progressed. We started investing. He was already investing, and so investment properties was my specialty for my six years of real estate. All I did was work with investors. I went straight into the investors world. I learned how to analyze deals. I learned how to negotiate. Wholesalers were my best friends. They brought me their deals. We would get them closed in a week and go. That was fast-paced, 6 years of single family and multifamily. Then Carlos gets into commercial, and I'm like, you worked one deal. This was like 1 year, one deal, big commission,
$90,000, my first commercial transaction.
His first commercial deal. And here I am, selling 50 investment properties to make, that much. And I'm like, okay, I think I want to do commercial. And that's when 2020, and then COVID hit. So it was a year that I also, I became aware of the struggles of the minority and in my case, the Hispanic community being bilingual. I became aware of the struggles when it comes to commercial leasing, small business owners, that we were getting approached because we joined the Urban Hispanic Chamber that year. And so the moment we say we do commercial, people are, they start looking for you and asking for help. So yeah, we were seeing, the struggle, and that's when I said, that's it, no more residential for me, only commercial and investment properties and in commercial investments as well. So no residential at all. I need to focus. I need to really, really specialize and serve my community with my talents and my skills. And not only that, get my broker license. Got my broker license. Not to manage agents. I didn't want to be a managing broker. Carlos was a managing broker, like he told you. We started Let's Fly Realty as well. And poor guy, he's flying. He's managing agents. We were like, I don't know, past 10 agents. I was training. I don't mind. I love. I guess once a teacher, always a teacher. So I love to teach. I love to mentor and coach, and I'm really hands-on. If I'm going to teach you, some of you here in the room, I'm going to make you do it so you can learn it, I don't know if you wanted to say anything.
It was taking a lot of our time, running
yes.
our own brokerage company, as much time as we wanted to devote to our agents and mentoring them and helping them. And even the transactions that we were getting, we share our own clients with our agents to free up our time. I was doing all the back-end office stuff, like you probably run into the same situation, you gotta do CDAs, for our agents to get paid. You gotta do accounting.
3 in the morning, he wouldn't sleep.
There's just so much stuff to it. It's like, where's my time to sell? Where's my time to mentor my agents, which is what I wanna do. Having my own brokerage company doesn't have that. Plus all the associated expenses that comes with running your own brokerage. And here's a big one, liability. You know, they do one thing wrong and you're getting sued, right? To this day, that hasn't happened, but because I cross my T's and dot my I's, you know, I'm always looking at all the signatures and everything. But liability is a big one. So the moment you switch over to EXP, all of them.
So wait, we started our CCIM.
Okay.
We started our CCIM together, right? At the same time. And in one of those CCIM happy hours, guess what? We meet Daniel Ang and Calvin Wong. And yes, we know we were approached, we had our boutique brokerage, so they did tell us about the opportunity. At that moment, we were too proud, oh no, we own our own brokerage, And a few months later, with the relationship, the friendship, I think a lot of it with EXP, a lot of it is the relationships that are created. And so months later, Carlos goes to, you want to tell them? Vegas. He goes to Vegas.
It was what was it? That convention? ICSC event. And that's where we really connected. Colin here, we're driving to a rave party. No, it wasn't a rave. It was one of my favorite DJs growing up that he somehow got us into a VIP section. I didn't even ask how that happened.
Was it Tiesto?
But he kept telling me, don't join EXP, don't join EXP. And I'm like, what do you mean don't join EXP? Where are you hiding from me?
Made it more tempting, right? Like,
When we got back from that Vegas trip, Brenda knew.
I could see it in his eyes.
Something had changed.
His eyes, el brillo de sus ojos. And I was like, what? You fell in love with Daniel and Calvin? What did they do to you? No. He realized that we needed to join a platform, to grow, to offer more benefits to our agents. I mean, to me, that was the number one. Wow, we can get this and this and this if we join EXP, and our agents also come with us, and they not only become agents, partners, they become partners too. So here we can all grow together, and that was the number one reason to join. And here we are, both of us, CCIM now, we're continuing to grow. So again, serving the minority and Hispanic community with our commercial skills. We also work with investors. Again, Carlos is more of the numbers guy, the analytical one. He does more of the consulting. I do more of the brokerage. And then we have some CCIMs here in the making. My goal is to grow, to continue growing, and to continue helping others to do the same. And why not commercial? If you're doing residential and you want to try commercial, it might not be for everybody, but don't hold your door.
Don't close the door to other opportunities.
Commercial, investing, development, I mean, you name it. There's so many opportunities. There's talent in this room. And believe me, We Partners Network, it is all about partnership. We all support each other in our businesses.
So now one of the biggest things also that's an advantage of having this partnership network, is that the connections that we make, not just as real estate agents or brokers, but we're bringing all the tools together for our agents to succeed. One of our partners is my friend Maria Herrera here. Just so you see the kind of quality people we have working with us. She flew all the way from Miami. She's got a doctor's degree in law in both Spain and in the U.S. She deals with she's an immigration attorney, EB-5 and E2 investor visas. You want to
tell us a
come
little
say
bit
a little
about
bit?
the services that you offer? She's part of our consulting team.
She's part of our consulting team. So we do consulting services. We work in tandem with her, also with our foreign investors.
Yeah. So hi everybody. So yeah, I'm being an immigration attorney for the past 10 years, and I partnered with Carlos and Brenda. We met through I believe through a friend. I don't remember, like 4 years ago. But I have plenty of investors from around the world who are looking for investment opportunities in the United States. Chinese citizens, Spanish Europeans, in South America mostly, and they love Texas and Florida. That's what I'm based in Florida, but I fly often to Texas and connect with Brenda and Carlos so we can look into opportunities, franchises. They come first and look for a business, and they buy a franchise or they open their new restaurant, whatever dream business they have, and then of course they want their dream home. And right now I'm looking for a lot of EB5 projects. Here in Texas, there are a lot of developers and people who are super helpful, but I always run it by them. I'm their off counsel and I help them. And as I said, if you guys have something great to offer, they're always contacting me, because I also am a TV analyst, I'm a politics analyst, and they always see me and they want to come to the United States. So that's me.
Thank you, Maria.
You're welcome.
So another one of our big partners and supports that you have here is Keith Andrews, who flew in all the way from Alabama, and I'll let him come over and tell us his story. He's a #1 EXP agent and EXP commercial agent, as a licensed agent. And thanks to him that most of the EXP commercial got started. Go ahead.
I'm proud of Daniel and Calvin.
Ella did it.
Oh, Ella did it, but she had. Oh, she heard.
He's gonna talk about his picture.
Watching the live feed. Ella, thank you. Why am I thanking them? Does that look like me?
Yeah.
That's the picture I put on there, and they were carrying the one I had from last October on there. If you're going to use pictures, and which we do not do in commercial, believe it or not, we don't do that in the commercial world. My name's Keith Andrews for the latecomers. You know, some people are late, but so you got to reintroduce yourself. I won't name names or anything. And I am from Alabama. I live in the Birmingham area. Several things I could talk about. I got a few minutes, correct?
Yep.
No, you guys, these people are tired of you all being up front. You can walk around and visit people, right? And Rick likes to move the camera. He's into action. So, and I'm making you crank your necks around and stuff because I'm behind you now. Isn't that exciting? But in the world of commercial, all right, this is my 18th year, second career. I was in telecommunications before that. And what I've learned in the world of commercial, especially at a national and global level, it's a different world. It's not a listed world. It's all about relationships. Matthew, what's the 6th R in logistics? Relationships, all right. Teresa, what's the 6th R in retail? Relationships, there you go. All right, Calvin, are you even listening? Okay.
Relationships,
okay. Commercial is all about relationships. At least 80% of what we do on this planet is, as you would say, off market, or some of you say pocket listings. I don't know. It's not listed. About me knowing Calvin, me knowing Daniel. It's not about, really, it's more about not who I know. It's not about who knows who I know. It's all about who knows you. And that's true. If somebody knows you and they're out there having a conversation anywhere on the planet and they're listening to somebody else say something and you pop up in their head, boy, you've done it. You've created a relationship and you're going to succeed, because that person's going to say, I know Keith. You need to talk to Keith about this. And they're going to connect me. And that's all commercial is. That's all there is to it. There's no emotion. There's no 24 hours a day. There's no 7 days a week. But let me tell you what's happening. And most of commercial is franchising. It's all about franchising. All the big companies, you know, all those big names you see out there are franchises. EXP has a totally different platform. and we're being the catalyst in our industry. And one of the first things that was obvious is we're not franchised. We're one company. We have 50 brokers in 50 states, but we're one company. We're commercial, so we can do things in all 50 states, even though I have a license in Alabama. You can't do that in residential because you deal with the consumer. We don't deal with consumers. We deal with entities. We deal with the business world. We are the GNP of the economy, the local economy, the national economy, the world economy. We affect the GNP. Is that an acronym for everybody that doesn't know that? It's gross national product? Okay, all right. So I gotta give you a quick little story. Oh, wow, I have less words than everybody else. That's good. When you do profiles, keep it shorter. That needs to be shortened. That way people will remember you because they don't have to read it all day long while you're talking. But EXP, they approached us. They wanted us to be their commercial solution back when that was 4 years ago or so. And throughout the conversations, it became evident to everybody, we were franchises. That doesn't work. You know, so that got canned. And the beautiful thing is they love Jim Huang, our current president of EXP Commercial, and they recruited him. But Daniel and Calvin and I and some other franchisees, we heard about all this. We were part of a lot of those conversations. And when they blessed Jim with this excellent opportunity to start something new, it's fantastic. We jumped. We said, we got to go with you because we understand the same thing. We understand the significance of not being franchises, not being in silos, about being just one big happy family. So actually, EXP Commercial is probably the biggest example of a We Partners network because we have lots of us, most of us are not part of We Partners, but we're part of EXP Commercial. It's changed everything. Let me tell you how significant that is. So the first week in November 2020 is when it was born, and we started in Alabama, and I was able to bring my people from my franchises, and we became the first franchisees of EXP Commercial over there in Alabama. So by default, I say Birmingham is the birthplace of EXP Commercial because that's where I was, okay? That's where my team was. This coming November will be 3 years. First week of November, that's birthday. If I go to the Alabama Real Estate Commission, I believe my license came on board November 6th. Well, November 7th, we're doing meetings in Birmingham. This is just a PR plug. If you want to come enjoy a birthday party for a company, a 3-year birthday party, 3-year anniversary, come on over to Birmingham and let me know in advance. You know, we're going to have a big celebration and stuff over there, 2 nights, 1 day. We're also going to have what we call in real life meetings and education piece. But let me tell you what EXP Commercial has done for Key. In November, I changed my hairstyle. It looks like this now. You haven't seen the picture before. So this is my new hairstyle. In December, okay, real quick, in EXP Commercial, I'm now a full-time mentor by default. We love the new professional who wants to come into commercial real estate to call us and let us get you started. We have formal training for that, and we have mentors. We look for seasoned individuals from other companies. Join us. We need you because you know what you're doing and you want to give back. So by default, more people were coming into our company, and I just started taking on more and more mentees, as we say, or juniors, and it's worked out really great. And we have formalized training. I think you're back there, Eric. Hi. Welcome. And it's really great for a brand new professional. So if you're ever talking to anybody and they say something about, hey, I was thinking about what you do, that might interest me. Tell them about EXP Commercial, and then tell them about We Partners if you're here in Texas or anywhere, but reach out to us. But I now have about 21 mentees, 22 and 23 is coming up. They're doing their forms. But what's really important is we have what we call a rev share. And in mine, my first line, these are people who know about this. I have 5 people in my first line. 3 of them are mentors. They're mentors for the company as well. So in December, this past December before Christmas, I woke up in the middle of the evening, and I'm going to tell you the symptoms because you're not used to it. From the neck up, everything was aching from the neck up. Face started to tingle, and I said, come on, Nancy, we got to go to the hospital. She said it to me too. It's either a heart attack or a stroke. Didn't sound like a heart attack, did it? Everything was up, neck up, nothing else. I felt great everywhere else. No pain, nothing. Had a headache, everything was hurting. It was heart was in distress. The heart was in perfect shape, according to the surgeon. The arteries had plaque. Okay, so your heart can be perfect, but if you got plaque, it's not getting its supply. That happened to me. Get a couple of stents in December, and then said, come on back in about 5.5, 6 weeks, which to me said, I'm not dying. So you can have your triple bypass surgery and get some new plumbing there. Well, that's great. The tough part is it's over a year recovery when you do that. Open heart surgery for those who know about it. So that was the end of January. I'm still in recovery. I got off the grid. It gave me 5.5 weeks to tell everybody associated with me. I had mentees at the time, my buds, my mentors who were in my downline. You guys are gonna have to take over. You're gonna have to handle everything going on. I'm off the grid. It's like being a broker of your own brokerage, and you could walk away and you had leaders in it that could take care of everything for you. Okay, that was beautiful. So what happened? For 6 weeks, they didn't listen to me. They still reached out. They tried to reach me, and I said, I'm not answering that phone. I'm not answering that text. I'm not doing those emails. And they finally learned after about 6 weeks. So it took me about 2.5 months to start showing up 4 hours a day. But in the meantime, this is the most important part about EXP Commercial for me and for a lot of you. Every month, only my 5 people were doing their sales and stuff. I looked at it from January through this past month, which would be August, right? Yeah, because we're in September. Man, time flies. I've averaged $1,500 a month in a rev share check off of 5 people. Just 5 people, $1,500. Oh, that's great. That's a little bit of income. That's cool. Paid some of my expenses I had every month. And then my mentees were closing deals without me. And we made it to 95,000 GCI so far, but I got about 55,000. No, I get half of that, right? Yeah. Sorry. Somewhere around there, yeah, 45,000 or something. Oh, no, we're over that now because I'm at 1,000 GCI literally in my pocket, in my business from the mentees. But it was other people handling it. You know, I think it was fantastic. I was very fortunate. 3 of my people were mentors, so they handled it for me. And so that's my story on what I really love about EXP Commercial. The biggest revenue source. And, I got to ask that question, and I'll wrap up. Teresa, don't answer. I'll call on you for the answer when everybody else fails. Okay? Okay, here's the biggest thing that Daniel, Calvin, and I saw during those conversations. EXP Realty was in around 38,000 when we started. And they're in America, they're over 77,000, okay? Our biggest source of income comes from EXP Realty's clients. You guys don't do the commercial. You rely on us. We don't do the residential. We don't want to mess with the residential. Yeah, that's 7 hours, that's 7 days a week, all that stuff. Anybody want to venture a guess? In the first year, we started with 33 of us, ended at 492. Realty started with 39,000 for 2021, ended around 69,000 65,000 at the end of 2021. Most of EXP Realty still didn't know we existed in that first year. They still don't. I'd say only half still know about us. But in that first year, I'd say maybe 3,000 to 4,000 of EXP Realty knew who we were. You want to venture a guess of what they sent us in referrals? I mean, this is public knowledge now because I said it publicly before. Does anybody know? Anybody want to guess in the millions or whatever for what they've sent us in referrals? I'm going to prove my point about where our source of business is coming from. Nobody? 85,000. No, you got to get up in millions at least to be wrong, but go ahead. 1.85 million to all of us across America. No. Anybody else? Much higher? Much higher. Okay, that's good. I'm running out of time. Teresa, how much? $9.2 billion in referrals came to us from EXP Realty. That first year, there was only like 3,000 to 4,000 that knew about us. There are tens of billions of dollars still being referred out to other commercial companies because they don't know we're here. Do you understand the significance of why we need to grow the EXP commercial world and why we need to grow REIT partners and any other network? And we're one big happy family. 9.2 billion, that was recorded. Stephanie Gilligan said that. She brought that to us. No idea what it was in 2022. We just quit following that. So we thank all of you in Realty that have been here at least 3 years. We love you. Thank you. Thank you very much. We love you. Any questions? You can be live on Facebook. Any questions?
So one more thing that I forgot to mention is I was in the process of getting my Florida broker license because we have a lot of foreign investors looking at purchasing property in Florida. And as I'm there studying, you know, and I'm thinking, man, am I gonna have to study to get a broker license in every single state? And am I gonna have to do CE classes in every single state? Where's my time gonna go, you know, under my big brokerage company? So that's one of the solutions that they provided to me when they talked about EXP. They said, Carlos, you don't need to get your license in those states. You can create downlines, not only in every state in this country, but in other countries as well. This is a global company. This is an opportunity to grow. So we started also going to, when I was going to Spain on vacation, I'm like, let's start recruiting agents here also, you know, because I do have a lot of potential clients out there that want to come invest here, or people from here that want to invest there on vacation homes. So it's just beyond that, you know, it saves you so much time to create your proper downline and help. And Daniel opened my eyes with that, you know, it just.
With Colin's help.
Yeah. Anyway, Daniel and Calvin, it's your turn to speak.
Yeah, so I'll make it quick. I know we're on behind schedule. My name is Daniel Lang. I'm one of the team leaders here. You know, been in the business for 22 years, always been in commercial real estate. And what's nice is I got my real estate license back in 18, right after high school. I knew I wanted to be in the business. I grew up in the business. So I was fortunate. My parents worked really hard in the business. And, you know, when we chose this location with National Title to have this place, I grew up here on Fitzhugh. My father made his first million right behind this building. And this was the old Chinatown. A lot of younger Asians do not know that Chinatown started here off of Fitzhugh. And we had a grocery store, had a restaurant, there's a Vietnamese community garden, and all that was later on when the Vietnamese came. But Chinatown kind of started in this area. And the city place, you see that the tower, they were trying to build 2 towers across the highway, build a bridge, and that was owned by the Thompson family. And that was a 7-Eleven family before they went, they sold to the Japanese group back in the 80s. What I'm trying to say is I grew up in the business. I remember riding my little bike around here, and that just gave me a story how hard my family, my parents worked really hard to provide for their children. And growing up, understanding that, I graduated with a banking and finance degree from Switzerland, and I came back. I knew I was gonna run the business, didn't know what I wanted to do. Father had a severe stroke in 06. My first marriage was failing in 07, financial crisis in 08. So you can imagine 1 year after another, God really humbled me. And in 08, 09, a friend of mine told me, hey, market's really bad. Let's go get our CCIM. And that's how I met Calvin later on during the classes, and, you know, met my wife through Calvin later on too. So what I'm trying to say is relationships, right? Just what Keith was saying. And, you know, growing a business, doing the brokerage, doing the franchise. I was also part of KW Commercial when they first started, helping in that aspect. So understanding being a commercial director in a, you know, residential company and getting the leads, things like that. And then later on having 2 companies running side by side, having other partnerships, running the residential side where we franchise as well. And then coming to now where, you know, we had the opportunity with this EXP because of James Wong. It wasn't about EXP. It wasn't about the platform. It was about leadership. It was about the relationship. You know, I knew Tom through Aria. I knew James Wong through Aria, and that's how we connected. And it was all through relationships. So we can look at, I look at other platforms now for our group as well. But there's nothing out there that's all 50 states, that's global, and it's publicly traded. Right? For a commercial practitioner, when we get large clients, we have to check those boxes. Are you all 50 states? Are you global? Right? Are you publicly traded? Right? You look at all the big boys, CBRE, Jones Lang, Marcus, all these KOL, JOL, all these companies. We have a platform that we compete with them now. but we need more talent. So we're here looking for good partners to continue to grow. James Wong is my sponsor into EXP Commercial, and I'm proud to be partners with him and continue on to grow the organization that we've created together. And We Partners is just another network that we're trying to create a club together, because creating a real estate club to do We Fund, right? And we sing, we run, just play on words, and we just felt that was great. It's not just Wong and Eng, right?
That's where the we comes from. Wong and Eng.
If you didn't catch that, but it's really about us coming together. So that's really my story. My goal and my why is not about the assets. It's not about the money, because if God takes me home today, my kids will get it. They can sell it. They can gamble it away. I can't control that. But it's about the people. So when I thought about it, this is really great, because your kids, my kids, get to connect. And if all of us are leaders coming together, and I know some of you don't have kids yet, but just imagine your kids get to plug in with other leaders. And that is more powerful than money. And that is my why. And that's why I don't sleep if you see me up, because that is what sets me. And my wife sees a difference. She knows that I am busy, but I'm not busy where I'm stressed. So just happy to be here and be a leader. And I want to pour into more people. The younger generation, you guys are the ones that are gonna, really take lead, and I want you to lead. For Keith, right? He enjoys coaching. He enjoys mentoring. Right, Carlos too, right? Can do consulting. Myself is being a growth leader. My focus is growth. So just understand that when you partner up with us, you have different people to help you in different aspects. We're all bringing something to the table, right? If this was a big round table, we all have something to offer. And if we can share that with a little lazy Susan just spinning around, just imagine how powerful that's going to be. So right now we're about 170 plus people in our organization. But I have over 50 other people, affiliate partners together in this company that I work with. Some people just like to be part of our group, and they're in the company already. That's fine. Bring something to the table. That's all we ask, right? Don't come here to take, right? We all bring to the table. So that's my why. I appreciate that. Calvin, you're gonna come up, and then we'll have Tom, and then we'll have a kind of a Q&A if anyone has any questions.
Well, before we break for lunch, we're gonna do like a quick, more like a powwow Q&A, and how do you make money in this environment? So we all know that the economy right now is it good or bad? Great. Great? I like it. The reason why it's great is because you're in a great environment, right? The network you're in, right? So the network is very important. The environment that you are in is very important. Just like a plant, a seed, when they become a big trees, right? Does tree come from seeds? Sorry. Everyone's paying attention. That's awesome. So that was a test. Yeah, that was a test. Everyone's still focusing, which is good. So you gotta have to be in the right environment. You gotta have the sunshine, oxygen, fertilizer, things like that. So what we're creating here, it's like a network, right? We are kind of like the fertilizer for you to grow, to blossom, right? So
are you gonna share we're all winners?
Huh?
Are you gonna share we're all winners?
Oh no, I don't know about that. Ask me what I did share last time. It was. But so the environment is very important, especially in the market, right? Interest rate is high, right? For those that are much younger than me, you probably never seen 7 or 8% interest rate, right? You're spoiled by 3%, 4%. So when you never experience high interest rate environment, you can't really know how to deal with it with your clients and your investors, because they say, hey, Calvin, interest is high. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to, set aside my cash and just wait. So if you're an agent, when your client asks you this or tell you this, do you just say, okay, we'll wait? Or do you find a way, find facts, find opportunity to present to them so you can close the deal, and then you can get your commission and, be the family and the expenses, right? And one of the benefits what Keith mentioned is he was off grid for a couple of months, but he still have some passive income coming in. And yes, you can accomplish that by buying real estate, get cash flow, but why not get additional stream of income? Why say no? Why say no to additional income. Why, right? I used to be, again, maybe a lot of you guys, when you guys deal with commercial real estate broker, you'd be like, man, how come my commercial brokers never call me back? Why are they like so much ego and all that? But I think luxury agents has much more ego than commercial brokers. But anyway, that's a different discussion. But the thing is, like, I used to be like, okay, kind of put myself in a box. It's like, hey, I just focus on this, just focus on transactions, and then go roll off, my commission, roll off to investment and things like that. But then I realized that, when we all sit down and look at the numbers, it really makes sense. I mean, why stop at just on, where you can get multiple streams of income? And because time like this, right, if your transaction is slow, if your deal flow is slow, it's all these other incomes that are still keeping you afloat, right? Just supporting your lifestyle. I mean, a lot of you guys have fancy cars, I know. I saw your Facebook. A lot of you guys have, yacht and things like that. I know you guys, but times like this, I mean, were you kind of like stressed out a little bit, or are you able to but this is where you can want to think outside the box and think about, okay, how can you invest the time to diversify your stream of incomes, right? So, I just want to kind of do more interactions because we have different experts. We have, commercial experts. We have, land, industrial. We have syndicators, right? That's what it's all about. I mean, in our network, we have different expertise, not just focus on specific sectors. We have a range of expertise to even, insurance. We have, anything that related to stream of incomes. We have those experts. So want to open up the floor and ask us challenging questions because we love challenges, right? Anyone want to kind of, no questions? All right, Teresa.
I wonder, how did Keys beat Daniel to be the first broker in EXP commercial?
It's all by design. Because we Texas cannot win it all, right? Even though we're winning.
We let him. We let him. Seniority.
Hey, Teresa, and for most of you, so the beautiful thing about most states in the U.S. when it comes to the real estate commissions or whatever you call them in your state, they have policies and laws on who can hold a broker's license. And in 38 of the states, to include Alabama, a broker can hold multiple licenses for different brokerages, believe it or not. And in this case, what we did was we hung the commercial broker's license for that state with the residential designated broker. Okay, so they're holding on to that. And Alabama was one of those. Texas was not. We had to go find and hire a broker to handle Texas, and they couldn't have that done in time to, open up in November like we did. So,
Come on.
More questions?
We are here to.
All right, so I'll bring one up and we can discuss it, okay? What's going on with the current real estate market, right? With the interest rates going high, what's our crystal ball saying? What's going to happen, right? And I'll start off answering my own question. So basically, we are in a virtual bubble, is how I call it. Okay, it's a virtual bubble. We have 150,000 people moving to the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex every year. So that's a lot of people coming in. We still have low inventory. Okay, so a few years ago, or even last year, people that were in the market to buy real estate, to buy a home, they were paying $20,000, $30,000, up to $50,000 above asking price, right? And we are the local people that needed mortgages couldn't really compete with the California people that were paying cash. So now with the interest rates going up, it's harder for our local people to get those mortgages because the payment is a little bit higher, right? So there's still a high demand. there's little supply, but everybody is now waiting for the right time to buy, to upgrade their house, but they're waiting for interest rates to come down. Well, that could take another 2 years or so, probably, if it's gonna happen. Now, my question and challenge to a lender like Roman is, let me ask you something, right? If I'm an investor and I'm looking at investing in real estate, right? Typically, what kind of, and let's not talk about interest rates, let's talk about loan to value, okay? If I'm investing in real estate, what kind of loan to value are you giving me right now?
90% LTV.
90% LTV, but it used to be like 70% LTV, right? So guess what? Lenders, how do you make your money? From loaning money, right? From
Approving deals and getting them closed.
Exactly. If interest rates are going up and people are not buying homes, banks are gonna get desperate and they're gonna start lowering LTVs. Why? Because they don't have the power to lower interest rates. But that's their other solution. Well, let's lower LTVs. When I started investing back in 2003, 2004, interest rates were at 6.5%, 7%. Guess what? I was buying houses 100% financing. So that was zero out of pocket. My return on investment was infinite. So by going from 70% LTV to 90% LTV, guess what? That's less money out of pocket, which means I'm getting a greater return on investment. They're gonna keep getting desperate. In the next year, maybe we'll get to 100% financing again. They'll be a little bit riskier. What do you see?
It's coming, yeah. So there's been some changes as where 100% financing banks are starting to do that to do more deals, really.
Exactly.
So that's coming.
So if your clients are not buying homes, this is the time to look for the investors who are going to be looking at buying property, and they could care less about interest rates. All they care about is money out of pocket. Okay? Any other questions?
So for someone that has been doing the regular real estate, how someone can start getting into the commercial? Because we can talk to our sphere of influence and most likely someone is gonna need a house. How do you start in commercial real estate?
When you're saying how do you start, asking how do you start helping clients or how do you acquire clients?
How do you acquire? How do you really start in commercial?
Okay.
You get a mentor. You do not do your first few deals by yourself, because just like residential, you have to learn the processes in commercial. So you talk to Brenda and Carlos, and that's how you get started, by making sure you have a mentor and you get you get the education along with it. But like I said earlier, I'm the hands-on. I'm more of like, let's work this deal together. Let's go through the process. And the education, you can get it through EXP Commercial has.
Yeah, I can cover
tell
it.
her about that.
So remember when you're taking your real estate license, how many hours, how many classes, you went through? That was all residential.
Right.
Now you're a seasoned residential agent now. When you go, I see that all the time, whether I was at KW Commercial, was it independent or franchise, agents, they come in like, oh, I'm a rock star already, and I just want to I think I can just do it. You got to start back from the ground. Why do commercial companies, when people start, it's not even a 50-50 split. You only get 25 cents to the dollar. You start as a junior, that's the typical, because it's a ground up business and you got to learn. A lot of agents that try to do resi-commercial, they try to skip the step, right? Yes, EXP helps that because we do have a fundamental training that we do as well. But then you also have to work on getting your CCIM. I always encourage everyone to try to get their first class, get your fundamentals in. I know, Carlos, there's another class that you recommend. Michael Simpson in our group also has from the National Commercial Real Estate Association. He does a class as well. You have to get a mentor and get those education, and then you need to also shadow somebody. So we do these tours. This is a property that Calvin and I, we sold. We had this listing almost 4 to 5 years? 5 years. Listing for 5 years. And, by selling this property, and, now they're doing a $100 million plus redevelopment project. It was on a opportunity zone. It was the only opportunity zone land or property in Collin County, right off of Spring Creek and 75. But we do these tours, and we try to do once a month as our group to train people, because we want them to see the product, and we want the listing broker, right? It may not be an EXP, but we want the listing broker to share, and it's through our relationships that people are willing to tour us about their project, see those things, teach about things. Who was at the Bob Gibbons? He's a tenant rep. Who was at one of their tours? Bob Gibbons. He's a tenant rep broker. All he does is tenant rep, and he was sharing about his story and why he only does tenant rep. If he got a listing, he doesn't do that. Right? He just focused on tenant rep. That's his specialty, and he poured into our group. So by leveraging our relationship and learning that is how you're going to be getting into the business, and that's how you're going to learn to transition. So when I say resi-commercial, usually that is like a 1 or 2 years time frame where then you're going to go full-time commercial, because there's going to be more money in commercial once you understand it. But it takes time, right?
Let me just mention something important about that. With your real estate license, remember your fiduciary duties? One of them is competency. You need to be competent to help your client. If you're not competent, you're doing a disservice to your client, and you may be getting in trouble later on. By getting the right mentor to help you, and I'm not saying that you need to be with a mentor forever, but to get you started, you are putting in that competency level, and you're giving best practices to help. The other thing is education is paramount. My first commercial deal, I was studying how to do absolutely everything, as well as getting a designation toward it, so that I could provide the best level of service to my client. And I also had a mentor. That's how we all get started. Yeah.
So, Marisela, in order to complete that questions, in my experience, when we are in the residential side, we have a ton of potential referral from other agents in residential, because no other agents have the knowledge and the network to handle all those leads, right? So in my case, in the very beginning, I was only in the residential side, and I got a ton of leads that I can handle, because I know that is a lot of work and knowledge that you need to know, right? So I refer all my leads to Carlos, and one day Carlos told me, "Why you lost a lot of business? You need to join our team and learn of that experience." So you have a huge potential in the residential side, but if you need to join at the correct team and invest in your education.
Yeah, and then as far as acquiring clients, what I do and how I got started also is once I was more known that I was doing commercial, strictly commercial, and I advertised myself as such, I was getting a lot of referrals, as Maria said, as Gabi said, from many other agents that only do residential that wanted to refer to me. And I would tell them, not only I'm going to pay you a referral fee, but any other leads and residential leads that come out of that one referral, I'm sending right back to you. For example, you refer me a restaurant client that wants to open up a restaurant, right? Well, while I'm dealing with them and talking to them and going with them to see different places, or they're getting ready to open up, I'm meeting their staff. Maybe 2 or 3 of their waiters are looking to buy a home. Well, I'm gonna send those right back to you, refer back. That's how we work together. I'm not interested in selling any homes, so I'm gonna send those right back to you, so we both benefit.
All right, I got like 2 questions. So I asked the first one first. So we're both
Make it hard. Make it hard.
So we're both in residential. We've done flips over the past couple of years and have a couple of buy and holds, but very new to commercial. That was our next goal. So my question is, like, as the market starts to shift and we know a lot of opportunities coming up with bridge loans, refinancing, rates higher, how do we bring value to you? Like, what are you looking for at this time? Is it storage units? Is it apartments? Is it retail spaces? Like what is the hot sector you feel like at this time?
Well, the good thing is, like, our network is pretty wide and pretty sizable in a sense on doing deals. We have different partners that are looking for different things. So, for example, we have a group that's focused on acquiring RV parks and self-storage, and then we have groups that's focusing on multifamily. So it's just different groups have within our network have different needs, whether they are doing syndication themselves. David, who just stand out, and his group is focusing on RV park, and that's him right there. They're raising.
With the nice hair.
Yeah,
Nice hair.
yeah. I could never have that kind of hair, but so his group is doing RV parks and investing in syndication. Like for me and Daniel, we focus on retail strip centers, value add stuff, and also multi-tenant industrial. So it's just different groups. So if you have a different connection and you're in the right network and partners, whether the market is up and down, you can always find opportunity to get deals done. So for those that were going through 2008, 2009, right? We all know that's a big crash and downturn. I know a lot of friends that are even though the bank, a lot of REOs, right? But we have a lot of friends, even Tom, and they're buying a tons of REO, and so whether the market is up and down, it doesn't really matter if you find the right opportunity, if you see a bigger picture, and then if you talk to the right people. Yeah, go ahead, Keith.
Yeah, coming from a mentoring perspective, the value these two will bring to you or I is any kind of asset group that is referred to them, they need to bring it, and we'll teach them to learn it. At some point, as you've been through enough transactions, you don't have to start in our business knowing you're exactly going to do self-storage units and that's it. I'm telling you that. Don't go with somebody that says you got to pick your niche now. You need to get exposed, and you'll have tons of opportunity because we have a great referring source from the residential world.
And that's typical commercial brokerage firms. You got to pick a niche and you got to stay there.
Yeah.
And you can't pivot. Because that's what they want you to do, because they're using you for income. That's how the brokerage makes money.
Yes.
Our group, no, we want you to learn. You're an entrepreneur. You're a business owner. You figure out what you want. We're here as a resource, right? And that's why we call it a round table. I mean, if you go to my office, I have my round table. We have our lazy Susan, and we pick from there. So.
The other question was, I know some have, mentors, experts have always recommended maybe sticking to commercial and not doing residential at the same time. What is your take on that? Because I know some like to also do residential and commercial, but some say, hey, it's best to stick at residential or commercial.
So here's the thing about most agents that want to transition from residential to commercial. I can see how it's hard. For me, I went straight to commercial because I have another income coming from aviation, right? For those of you who have a quota that you need to meet, you have to sell so many houses per month just to make ends meet, It's hard to do that transition because of that. You don't know what you don't know, right? So if you were doing it on your own, trying to get into commercial and putting the residential aside, that's where your risk is, right? By partnering up with the right people that are going to be able to mentor you on their first commercial transaction, you can still do your residential, you can still make ends meet. Your commissions will be bigger in commercial, and you don't get paid right away. You may be 6 months until you get your first paycheck.
Got another question?
Actually, it wasn't a question. It's actually from the perspective as a
Resi-mercial?
commenter trainer. As a mentee. Carlos and Brenda are my mentors, and I do residential. So for me, it has been about finding the perfect balance of still keeping my residential business alive, and not just like survival, but actually like growing it. But at the same time, wanting to learn the commercial side of things. So I have a balance of, okay, I still need my 1 or 2 houses per month, but I can still focus on maybe 2 or 3 commercial deals per quarter so that I can actually learn it and not take on too much at a time. And I've even told Brenda, I'm like, I can probably do 3, maybe 4 per quarter. And once we're done those, maybe I'll take on a little bit more. Not only that, but like I said, it's about the network. So one of my closest friends at the We Partners is probably Judy Ratsami. She told me, I need you to start managing your time better, because you have to manage your time, because you cannot do residential 24/7 and you can't do commercial 24/7. So you need to find that balance. You need a time block. When it's just commercial, it's just commercial. When it's residential, it's just residential.
And that's when you're transitioning. So I think our network is within the EXP platform. We're very unique because we do have probably one of the most resi-commercial groups in the entire 88,000 people, because our background is commercial. But for me, my background, I understand the residential side because I own and ran 2 companies. So I understand that. So the transitioning side, and we've transitioned people from realty, and they moved on full-time commercial now. Right? Some people that went commercial, they couldn't handle it. They went back realty. It's okay, right? So that's what I love about this, because people can move back and forth, but they need to find their niche, right? After they get exposed to it and figure out what they want to do. So that's really important. So
let me just say one last thing. One of the biggest struggles you're gonna run into starting in commercial is that the big commercial brokers companies, the CBREs of the world, they will not give you the time of day. They're gonna be like, who's this guy? He's a residential guy. He knows nothing of what he's doing. Well, guess what? That's until you're copying me to that email and it says CCIM next to it. And then they realize, oh, wait a minute. Okay, this is serious. There's something serious about this. If you're trying to do it on your own, they're not gonna give you a time of day. When I send an email, they answer right away, because they know we're serious.
We hear that all the time. So a lot of our team members, they'll CC us, Calvin or myself, on that email, and they'll get a response right away. Or I'll reply back. It's like, oh, hey John, we're working with one of my team members on this deal, and they'll get that response. I was the same way. I didn't respond to a lot of residential agents back then, so I'm at fault too, and I don't answer calls.
And that's another reason why I say you choose. They're both 2 different professions. You need to choose and go straight into which one you chose. And that's your focus. If you want to be a super success, do not mess around in both. That's what I choose. She's got a question first. Sorry.
Thank you. So I have a question. Do you have any special offering or projects for foreign investors, like Chinese investors in rural areas, after the review of the AB5 program? 20% setting aside, 10%.
Yeah, so working on a project right now that we are getting the regional center. My client is getting the regional center set up to basically do like an EB5 offerings. We do have that, but usually that it's heavily relying on the timing as well, because from the day that they said, okay, let's go, until they get the fundraising, because it's going to take like 8 months to 12 months to really have those sales teams to go, market and get the investors in. So the timing has to work as well. And sometimes developers just get like a bridge loan, and then once they get the EB5 funding, then they just replace that bridge loan with the EB5 capital. So it's a different capital stack.
I just like to share something. I actually converted from residential to commercial, and I'm still doing both because I'm a broker. I have agents who do residential and agents who do commercial. So I want to share with you how I started. And this just came to me because Daniel said he didn't answer his phone calls. I called him. He didn't answer my phone calls from the very beginning. But guess what? We're good friends now. It all happens at happy hours. So
And karaoke.
Yeah, and karaoke. So go back to the very beginning. Relationships. So if you say there are 6 R's, I have to say all 6 R's are relationships for commercial real estate. You have to be able to go out to the parties, go to the happy hours, go to all the networking events to network. Daniel didn't answer my call for a long time until I met him at a happy hour. I said, Daniel Ng, I called you, you didn't answer me. So from that point on, he started answering my questions.
Amen.
Okay, we'll try to keep it to 2 more questions.
I snuck in there.
Uh,
Hi. Okay, so my question is for a lot of the people that are resi-mercial or that have the considerations to either be a dedicated like referring agent or to incorporate residential and commercial into their business, what are y'all's takes on, or can you give some insight to the difference between getting paid out for a residential transaction and the time it takes to do a deal for a commercial transaction and then get compensated for those things? For example, one thing Daniel had mentioned is one of the We Partners tours that we went on, which was amazing, is that it took you guys you had that listing for 5 years. So just to give some insight for people, is that something you'd be able to do? Thank you.
Hey, before you answer, are you a referring agent?
I'm a dedicated
Who's a referring agent in the room?
I don't think anyone's in the referral.
Okay, I'll keep my card then.
Just like anything else, transactions comes in different sizes, different color, different, right? So on an average, for people like new to the industry, I always, when I have an interview with agents, I always tell them like, hey, I just straight out, like, this is a tough business. If you do not have 9 months to a year of savings to cover your living expenses, this is not for you. I mean, you can, go, through your parents or borrow it, whatever it takes. But if you don't have that, it's a tough business because it takes just as long or even longer to sometimes close the deal. Like the deal that we have is 5 years, not because we don't have buyers. It's just like we were on a contract and then things happen and we just have to continue and find the right buyers. Again, that's a pretty sizable deal. So I'm not saying like I said, it depends. You can have a quick deal, like your friend is looking to open up a insurance office. Hey, I need like 1,000 square feet. Easy deal, right? I mean, sometimes like, residentials feel like, oh, they've done that deal. They feel like they can do everything. Again, it just depends. I mean, you may have, good experience. You may have like a client that wants to do bigger deals and then you feel like you can do it. But going back to the competent and fiduciary duty, sometimes you may lose control of the client, right? Because it happens all the time. I see it happen all the time that I always said 100% of zero is still zero. I mean, spread the wealth because it's going to come back eventually. So, 6 to 9 months to a year, it's kind of like a typical time frame. Yeah, so.
A really good point was mentioned earlier, specific to the DFW region, low inventory, influx of candidates, high interest rates. Do you envision development specific to North Texas being more lucrative than trying to broker deals? Because we don't have, like me personally, I've been running into an issue of not finding the building that the client wants, or they're just not happy with, the surrounding, properties around said property. So is development going to be more lucrative here in North Texas specifically than actually trying to broker deals?
So yes, development can be more lucrative. However, keep in mind that there's also redevelopments. We know the office space after the pandemic, a lot of the office buildings, downtown locations, they've been downsizing and moving to the suburbs. So a lot of office buildings are becoming vacant, right? Take those opportunities to redevelop those office buildings into mixed use, maybe residential and retail on the bottom. So there's other opportunities. Something that we mentioned yesterday also, there's going to be opportunities in the commercial space other than just apartment complexes. Typically on a investment purchase of a building, you're doing maybe like a 25-year amortization, but a 5-year term. That means that after 5 years, you need to either sell or refinance. People that bought 5 years ago at 3% interest rates, guess what? They're stuck to refinancing at 7, 8%. The numbers may not work. Those buildings, they may go bankrupt, so there may be some really good opportunities to purchase if you have the cash or a lower LTV value to be able to purchase with.
Thank you. So I know there's a lot of questions you guys have. You guys want to learn a lot more. I mean, we want to kind of break for lunch right now because of time, but feel free to, because again, we have all the CCIMs here, like wealth of knowledge. Grab your lunchbox and then talk to one of us. But before that, I want to have Brian come up and just talk a little bit because he's our lunch sponsor.
Thank you. So this has been fascinating, by the way. I've been learning a lot as well. What you may not know about my past, Calvin, is that I was the senior director of development for UPS. So I used to negotiate UPS store leases on military bases for the U.S. government, with Marriott hotels, convention centers. So I actually have a degree in negotiation, so from UPS. So I've also was a tenant, so I've been a lessee. So I've been the one on the other side of the lease when I owned UPS store franchises. So I've got quite a bit of experience in the commercial space. But one of the key topics that came up here today was liability. So with my UPS background, I am very conscious of liability. And so when I do my inspections, I'm very thorough. And my job is to basically make sure that we fully understand the status of the building. So it's an inventory. I run all the systems. I take assessment of the physical aspects of all the equipment, et cetera, at the building. And then I put it into a nice report for you. And you can use that as a negotiation. And usually when I do an inspection for Calvin, he calls me up and says, hey, give me the big three so I can go back and try to negotiate and maybe get something for it or whatever. So roof, foundation, flat work, parking lots, they're real expensive. So check those out. Those are kind of your big three. Usually HVAC you can work with, plumbing you can work with, electrical or whatever. But I do inspect anything. I've done 60,000 square foot office buildings. I helped in Chicago with an airport terminal that was looking to be either remodeled or torn down. They weren't sure, so they brought a bunch of us in. So I kind of do anything. So I'll do restaurants, I'll do leasehold improvements, warehouses, etc. So anyway, the other thing you should know is that there's no licensing for commercial inspectors in any of the 50 states, except there's a little bit in Florida now after that apartment building that collapsed. They've started to put some regulations in. So I can go anywhere, technically, anywhere in the country and do an inspection, but it also means that you need to make sure if you do hire an inspector that it's not just some guy with a screwdriver, a clipboard, and a pen, because they can be out there. So Texas this year did have started to approve some commercial education that does count towards the Texas Real Estate Commission's license renewal or whatever. So just keep that in mind, that it is, can be a little bit of the Wild West out there. I've got 5 years experience. I actually got started on commercial. Of course, my background with UPS and having been a UPS store franchisee. So it looks a little different, a little unique to the business. But yeah, so I'm also licensed for mold. I'll soon to have a lead paint license in Texas. I'm also licensed for termite, WDI, and pest. So I have all those licenses. I can kind of do it all. I am a level 2 thermographer. I've been doing a lot of roof certifications lately at buildings and apartment complexes, kind of giving an independent third-party perspective to make sure that the owners understand what the status of the roof really is. So, but if you need me, I work 7 days a week. I go anywhere. I work with these guys all the time. And so Brian the Brick Kicker. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
So remember, in the beginning, I said we are saving the best for last. So now we're going to break for lunch. And then we have, make sure you drop your business card in the front. We're going to raffle off the Camus wine. We're saving that for last as well. But go ahead and we have Chick-fil-A and then also salad for lunch. And
Some drinks in the fridge as well, cold drinks.
Yeah. But again, like, hang tight. We are here. If you have any more commercial, I know this is a great topic for everyone that's curious. Come talk to us. Go ahead. All right. Thank you.
Que tiene 160 en su uso, o sea, en su downline. Y no nos descuida ninguno de nosotros. Fíjate que si mi marido no estuviera en este país, no tiene trabajo. Va a ir al sí se puede, pero me dijo no me tengo que quedar porque tengo que estimar. Yo quería que